welcome back to the Team Empire podcast. I'm your host, Shannon. We have another awesome episode today. I've got a cool guest for you guys. This is going to be a good one, especially for the ladies talking about bikinis and suits. But first, we have our sponsor, Infinite Aesthetics, supporting the pod. I'm wearing the new lilac. You probably can't see it if you're watching on YouTube. New lilac Apex singlets. You girls love them. Everyone wears the crap out of them. 2 new colors coming this week. Use the code EMPIRE to save. All right, I've got my guest on today. If you guys have seen the title, you'll know who it is. If you're watching on YouTube, you can already see her. It's Rachel Mead, IFBB Bikini athlete. How are you, babe?
I'm good. Very nervous.
Oh, no, don't be silly. It's going to be just fine. I'm going to talk all about our favorite thing, competing. One of our favorite things. And bikinis, in case anyone who doesn't know, I'm just going to give a quick rundown, Rach. I put up on my Instagram that I was going to compete last year, and then Rach messaged me, a little sweetheart, first person to be like, hey, you're competing, and just connected with me on social media, which was lovely. That always sticks with a person. We competed in Waikato's and Mo's together, and we were like close proximity backstage, hanging out and stuff, so it was lovely. And also, you rented me my suit for Mo, so then we have a lot of connections and a lot of things to talk about. But first, let's just jump straight back into it, babe. Like the very beginning, we always do this with my guests on the show. How did you get into competing? And how many shows have you done? Talk to me about the very beginning and your little process getting into it all.
So I first started getting into it. I had a friend who I saw did a bikini competition, and I was kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I was personal training at the time, so I was like, oh yeah, could look good for the business. And I started seeing more and more girls on Instagram. I saw to be honest, they were WBFF girls I was looking at mostly. It was like Rachel Dillon, Lauren Simpson. And then so I started kind of looking into it. I was like, this will be so good for my business. And also, I look like that. Man, these girls look amazing. So I started kind of looking into like different federations. I spent 3 months looking for a coach. So I spent a lot of time trying to do the research and look into it. And then I saw Issa, and it was like, game over. That's my federation.
Yeah. Love it.
That was 2019, because that was the year that she won the Olympia. So, and I was like, wow, yes, that's what I want. So and then I kind of got into it from there. So I've done 3 seasons in total, so over like 4 years.
Yeah, nice. That's cool, babe. And have you is it just growing your love for the sport over that time? Or have you just got more passionate about it, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I love seeing like the progress that you make throughout the sport. Like when I first started, like it was very different. I was like an entirely different person. So I really love like learning as well. Like I don't just necessarily like, okay, this is what the coach says, go do that. Like I like to be like, okay, so why am I doing this? What is it actually doing? And how is it going to help me? And that it kind of helps to motivate me to push harder to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. Do you think you're quite a competitive person, like in your nature?
Yes, I was a competitive swimmer growing up. So I once I quit, I actually really wanted to get into another sport. Like I was looking at rowing originally, but with like personal training and swim coaching, it just didn't like it's hard to fit sports into your schedule. So bodybuilding was a really good like I guess way to fit it. And it also is very similar in some ways because you got your morning, afternoon training, you're tired all the time. To be honest, bodybuilding is easier than swimming.
Wow. Oh my God, you heard it here. Why? Why do you think that is?
There's no off season in swimming.
True.
You get 2 weeks off after nationals or like a big competition or whatever, and then you get like 1 or 2 weeks off at Christmas, and that's it. And then every other week of the year, you're training like mostly twice a day, so like 8 to 9 times a week, for like 2.5 to 3 hours sometimes. So it's like sometimes 6, 7 hours a day of training.
Oh my
And then I
God.
was also going to school and working.
Holy crap. And so is that why you think you finished off with swimming? Because it was like quite time consuming and just can't do it all?
No, actually, I would have kept going, but I wasn't good enough to justify the cost. Swimming's like really expensive. It's actually probably more expensive than bodybuilding in some ways because I was paying, I think, $500 a month just for my coaching and pool entry. And then plus, similar to this, you got to pay for the togs as well, which are a good $500 to $800 for a good suit. Plus, your training suits, your goggles, like the competitions as well cost a good couple of $100 per competition. You're probably going to compete at least once a month. So it's
Yeah, doesn't add up.
Oh yeah, I went backwards like I think almost $7,000 my first year in uni.
Holy crap.
Because I was trying to pay my rent, my food, my coaching, my competitions. So that's kind of why I quit.
It makes sense. And if anyone wants to complain about how expensive bodybuilding is, there you go. Like there's a lot of other sports that are a lot more expensive than ours.
Yeah, people don't realize because I think, oh yeah, togs towel, that's all you need. But yeah, it's like the suits, the competitions. It's like I think sometimes I think nationals is about $20 per race entry.
Wow.
So then a lot of time you'll be traveling too. So it gets pretty pricey.
It adds up.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that kind of it leaves a big hole when you stop doing that because obviously you're spending a good 20 hours of your week. So when you stop, you're kind of like, what do I do with my life?
Yeah. Or bodybuilding. Perfect.
Let's go. Let's get on stage in a bikini.
Yeah. Still swimsuit, just a different type. So talk to me about your 2023 season. So you did you did 3 shows. You did Nationals in the middle, so you did Waikato Nationals, Mo's, is that right?
Yes, unless you want to count natural nationals in the morning as well. But I mean, I kind of count it as one.
Yeah, it was like one big day, but 2 show kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How was your season? Did you enjoy it? Was there a favorite show that you did? Did you like, you wore different suits every time? Just tell me about your shows. Did you have fun?
Oh, I had so much fun. Like I know that Waikato's, I was really nervous because I was feeling a lot of pressure because I'd taken a year off the year before. So I kind of felt like there was a lot of pressure to like have like these major improvements, which obviously I know I did, but it's just like you've stepped away from the stage and it kind of, yeah, it's a bit hard to dust off the nerves. So I didn't even hit the front box in my pose. I was like short of it. It was so bad.
No.
But my favorite show was definitely the Natural Nationals Nationals combo. Like the backstage was really nice. It was quite open. And then it just felt really relaxed. And also like being there the whole day, I just felt like I had a lot of time and it was just super chilled out. Whereas I find that with the shows that have the smaller backstage, it feels very cramped and rushed. It's like you had that at Waikato's. You probably noticed the difference between Waikato's and Mo's as well, even with just the backstage. Like the vibe is just so much better when it's like a nice open backstage.
Yeah, and it makes a difference for the athletes too, hey? So as they get on stage, are they more stressed or more relaxed? And it makes a difference for you, eh?
You can like lie down and just kind of have a chill. Like yeah, I always bring my suitcase full of stuff. Like everyone was like, "What the hell?"
She's moving in.
Yeah, I had my pillow and my blankets. Like just lie down, have a nap.
Yeah, set yourself up. You weren't originally going to do Mo's, I don't think you had planned, but what made you decide to throw that one in there anyway?
So, I mean, the main reason, honestly, was to wear the suit.
I love it.
I just had that suit and I was kind of like, I've made it. I kind of want to wear it because I didn't wear it to any of the other shows. And then it's only a week difference. I was like, I kind of might as well just jump in. I didn't actually peak for that show. I just kind of jumped in. I was on a rock climbing trip with the school. With teaching, I was teaching outdoor education and we did a rock climbing trip. So I was climbing up cliff faces the day before. And then came straight over and got my tan done.
I love it. That's perfect. And it just shows you can do that. You can do anything the week before, peak week, and still get in there and smoke it. So you did really well, babe. It was fun to compete with. We saw Crystal there, and I've talked about this on the pod of Christelle. And I actually told her, I was like, we both saw her, and we're like, oh, fuck.
Honestly, when I saw she was doing it, because I saw like a couple of posts she'd made that kind of like made it look like she might have been doing it, and I was like, fuck.
She better not. I want to take it. But it was fun.
Yeah,
right?
she's incredible. I've been following her like since her first show, I think. I think it was like an Auckland Champs or something. I didn't actually realize that was even her first show because she just looks incredible. Her structure is just amazing. Yeah. She has the most beautiful structure.
Crazy, hey, I love it. She's going to come back and keep killing it. Like you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Once she matches her glutes to her shoulders, game over.
Game over. We can't wait. Going to be great to see it. So nationals is the same again, I think, this year from the calendar, like last year, as you were saying. So natural nationals and natural straight after. There's also a naturals pro card on the table, I think, this year, which is exciting. I mean, why not? So a lot of people are worried about that happening again because it was kind of like one of the first times we've done that in a wee while. But you said it was great. Do you think it'll be fine again this year? Put the athletes' mind at ease. Is it all good to do 2 shows back to back? What did you think about doing both in one day?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it is a long day, but it's not. If you have all your stuff there and you're kind of organized, you can kind of relax. Like I find that obviously the first time you get on stage, you've got a little bit of show jitters, and it kind of wears out. And it's just kind of about when you're backstage, just relax. And then just eat your food and just chill out and just have fun backstage. Like a lot of people, I think, kind of get in their heads, they stress. But I'd like to have a good time, just have a yarn with the girls, just have a chat.
Yeah, chill.
Yeah, and you get longer to do that when you've got 2 back-to-back shows.
True. There you go. It's an option, everyone out there, if you're wanting to do it. And it's cool. It's just cool to do, and it's also a way to be like, I'm a natty athlete. I don't know, just whatever you guys want to do. But it's possible, right? It can be done.
100%. Because I've done that twice now. I've done it twice. I did it the first year that they did it in Wellington as well with that was an awful prep, the COVID year.
Oh
And
yeah.
they kept pushing the show back.
Yeah.
I think that ended up being like a 5-month prep.
Oh my God. Wow. That's enough.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific.
That was a crazy
So
time.
that one was less fun.
Yeah, I bet. We're done with COVID. It doesn't need to come back. We'll stay away. Let's continue talking about your season, babe. So you were teaching and prepping, and it's a lot, like to have that career and to have, obviously stress involved in teaching, we were talking about earlier. But tell me how you balanced it, because obviously people are nurses, like have crazy, like hard jobs and balance it all. What are sort of like your tips, and what did you do around that?
So one of the biggest things that I started doing last year, I didn't do this much the year before, but I kind of made myself a bit of a cutoff time to leave work. And also I didn't bring my work home. So my first year of teaching, because it was my first year of teaching the year before. So last year was my second year. My first year, I would try to do a lot of my work at home. And I found that that would stress me out a lot more because I'm thinking about my work while I'm at home. So I would try to get all my work done and leave by 6. And then I would go straight to the gym. And then, yeah, I'd always go to the gym after work. It was like a nice kind of chill out time. And I would also just take like 10, 15 minutes before I started my workout to just chill out and kind of get my mindset right. A lot of people would kind of be like, what are you doing? You've been here for ages. I'm like, yeah, like I just need to flip the switch, just relax a little bit. Because I just sit on the couch drinking my pre-workout. I'm like, cool, good to go.
Yeah, ready now.
But yeah, honestly, I was very lucky. I will say though that I didn't have to do much cardio. Majority of my prep, I was only on 30 minutes, and I actually did get quite a few breaks as well. So there was points where I didn't do any cardio at all. And it was kind of only the last 3-4 weeks that I actually started doing a bit more. So I think the most I did was like 3 hours, but that was like 2 days.
Yeah.
But mostly like it didn't get past really an hour and a half. And that was only for 2 weeks. So I was very lucky with that because it meant that it just gave me a lot more time. So I could just do 30 minutes cardio before work, go to the gym afterwards, and now I'm done.
I love that. I think that's really good, babe. So like maybe not procrastinating while you're at work is a big one. Like get your shit done at work so you can have your time.
Yes, which is a massive struggle for me because I actually didn't mention this to you before, but I actually got diagnosed with ADHD last year. So that was huge. I think that was a lot of the reason I had. So I struggled a lot with my mental health in my first year of teaching. And I think a lot of that was coming from some of those ADHD symptoms because with ADHD, you find it very hard to focus on one thing at a time. You'll start doing one task and then it will remind you of something else that you have to do. So you start doing that. And then you get reminded of something else and you start doing that and nothing gets finished.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
So yeah, it gets very overwhelming because you're thinking, okay, I've got these 10 things to do and you're trying to do all of them at once. And it gets very, very overwhelming because you just can't do the one thing. Yeah. So the past year I have started to get on medication, which has really helped. Like I still obviously struggle with it. It's not a cure, but that definitely helped a lot with just being able to sit down and kind of get a few of my tasks done.
Love it. That's good. And just maybe do you write lists and stuff like that? What do you do like to?
Yes, I have lists for days. I had 3 different lists. So I had like a daily planner for this is what I'm teaching each class, like the kind of just overview. And then I had a like a to-do list book where I would just scribble down my main to-dos for like the week or the day. And then I had another book of just like little notes or something that I might need to like take note of about students, like if they did something that I need to follow up on, because sometimes it can take like I've spent 2 hours just writing up reports on kids before for misbehaviors.
Oh my God.
For one class.
Holy crap.
So yeah, if you have like a whole class, like a whole day of classes who are just being, we'll say, fun, we'll say, it adds a lot of time there. So yeah, that was a big thing for me, trying to get one thing done at a time and then trying not to punish myself too much if I didn't get things done.
Yeah, being kind to yourself if it doesn't quite work out. You've got it all in your list, it'll get done, but just maybe not today.
Yeah, and then also even just not writing too many things on the list, which is why I like to split up those lists a little bit, because if you've got like this massive to-do list, again, it gets so very overwhelming. So, oh my God, I've got so much to do. Where do I get start? Whereas if you have like, these are the essential tasks I need to do today, these are the ones I can do later, it does kind of help break that up a little bit. And then I can be like, okay, so I've done my tasks that I had to do today that were urgent. These ones aren't as urgent. I can do it tomorrow. That's okay. I can go home now.
Yeah, prioritize.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I was very lucky that was actually my first prep last year where I didn't have, where I did have a full-time job. My previous preps, I hadn't had a full-time job. I was, because I was swim coaching, I was personal training. I was probably working 20, 30 hours a week for my previous preps. And also obviously lockdown wasn't really working much at all.
Oh my God. And then a full-time one last year. So did you notice a difference? Was it quite hard?
And it was different. Like in some ways it's easier because it gets you up and out of the house. You've got that sense of urgency. Whereas if you're at home, sometimes you're kind of like, I can wait another hour.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever find that working from
Yeah,
home.
I do. Yeah, 100%. I've got a time limit. If it's after like 9 or whatever, that's it. I'm just stuck. I'm staying home the whole day. Gym's not getting done or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is good for like I find very rigid schedules quite helpful. So I've even now that I'm working from home more with making the bikinis, I've actually got alarms set on my phone every hour. Because at school I really liked having that school bell to tell me, okay, an hour's passed. Because otherwise, another thing with ADHD, which is fun, you get this time blindness. I can easily I've sat on my sewing machine for 8 hours straight before. I didn't eat, like I didn't drink, didn't even go to the bathroom or anything. It was just like straight, this I'm doing this, I need to finish it now.
Wow. Oh my God. So you need the reminder.
So yeah, because like you don't snap out of it. And if there's no external things that are like saying, hey, no, you need to like go do this instead, like stop. You just don't. You just keep going. And then you're like, holy crap, it's 8 p.m. now.
My God. So learn your triggers, guys, and make as many lists as you need. I do the same thing as you. I kind of have a few different lists. I think it's really important. Just find what works for you. Hey,
Just
makes
make
it.
sure you know what list is for what.
They will get jump. Oh my God, don't color coordinate or something. Make it.
Yeah, have separate like different looking diaries as well, like because otherwise you might get your list mixed up.
Oh God, I can't imagine that. Let's talk about so 2023. Let's continue talking about that season. Coached by Troy Thornton. You know I love Troy. Everyone knows I love Troy. Always chatting about it, and we had him on the pod. What was it like to be coached through him for your 2023 season? Was it you coached with him for your 2022 as well?
Yes, yeah. So I did 2 year the full 2 years with him, and it was full off season and then going into prep, which was really cool. His programming and exercise selection are really, really awesome. Like I really loved how he does his programming and because it's so specific. Previously when I've had programs, I felt like they weren't, I guess, super specific to me. Like I feel like it was kind of like a general one that might have been like adapted. Whereas with Troy, it kind of felt like it was like, okay, this is your physique. These are all the areas you need to bring out, and this is the exercises you need to do that. Which was really cool. Like, I mean, it's brutal. Like there was one time I did barbell hip thrust and then went straight to machine hip thrust, and I was like, Troy, fuck you.
Oh, but also thank you.
But
But
it worked. It worked. But yeah, so his exercise program and stuff were absolutely amazing. And then I was actually one of the only girls backstage that was consistently talking to their coach on show day. I noticed there was a lot of girls who said that they had barely heard from their coach all week. They didn't know what they were supposed to be doing. They received their plans a few days before, and I was like, what?
like pardon? Yeah, that just makes
Yeah,
sense.
so that's a really cool thing about Troy because like he was very responsive like show day and stuff, and like I would be flicking him videos all through the day just saying, okay, this is what I'm looking like at the moment, and he's like, cool, eat more rice.
Yeah, that was Mo's. Eat more, like you were like, oh God, boss man, somebody eat more rice. She's eating rice all day.
Well,
Like
at nationals too. So I think on show day I ate like almost a kg of rice. Don't be afraid to eat rice on show
yeah,
day, guys. Don't be afraid to eat. All
yeah,
my other shows, I've come on probably very flat, because I haven't eaten enough leading into the show and on show day because I was always very scared to eat as well. And also, I mean, my coaches didn't really, uh, they weren't as responsive as Troy will say. So yeah, I didn't really eat much because I didn't get told to eat, so I didn't eat.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
which with me, I flatten out very easily.
yeah.
So don't be afraid to eat on show day.
Yeah, girls do it. You see a lot of people like sort of not sure even, eh? And I was probably much
Yeah.
the same, but you got to eat to look full. You have to.
Yeah,
And
and then some people are like, oh, my coach hasn't really told me what to do, so I'm just not going to eat. But it's like, no. Even if your coach hasn't told you to eat, you should probably still eat.
yeah,
But what I will say, don't eat junk.
yeah, don't eat the
That
crap.
was another thing
All
I
that.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I saw quite a few girls like you'd be eating like donuts or stuff, and I'd see some people eating like, I don't know what else, like sweets, lollies and stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness.
you didn't eat it on
Just
purpose.
wait a few
Oh,
hours.
what did you say? Like, what are you doing? It's crazy, but it's all right. It just means they're playing for second, possibly, because midsection
Yeah, I
might.
mean, at the end of the day, it is who looks best. If you're eating lollies and you win, cool, like
Yes,
you do you. But for me, I'd rather like just wait a few hours and know that I've done everything I could, rather than I don't know risk
yes, true.
anything like my body responding in whatever way.
Like, what if you get bloated or like tummy starts like, well, you don't want to do. Oh, don't do it, girls. Stick with the rice or stick with what your coach tells you. What do you love most about competing? What do you think you enjoy the most? Like, what brings you like the most happiness about it?
I'd say the challenge and like the purpose, I guess, like because you're constantly striving for something, and especially with the IFBB as well, there's always another level. So you start with your regional show, cool, I want to get a medal there. Then you go to nationals, cool, you want to do well there, and then you get pro card. Then from there, like you go into there's even tiers of pro shows. It's very there's steps, which is really cool. You're constantly trying to achieve something, which I really love. The community, love the bikini community. Okay, other girls who do wellness and figure and everything, you guys are welcome to. There's just more of us bikini girls, which is why I say the bikini. So yeah, I do like I think the girls like in bodybuilding is like all the ones I've talked to and mostly are like very, very like community based. We're all happy to help each other out, like which is really cool. Like backstage, like, oh my God, I need like a safety pin. So, like you've got 5 people like, yep, I have one.
Yeah, you literally do. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, oh, it's just so cool, like the community and just like being like having people who are like-minded. I find I'm not really friends with people who don't do bodybuilding anymore because I just don't have anything in common with them. And I'm just like, yeah.
I don't understand.
So yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? It's like, oh, I don't want to have to explain.
Yeah, because when you're like even at work and stuff and people are like, oh, so you're having chicken and rice again. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. Have you seen me? Like, it's working.
Yeah, I'm just like, and that's why I have abs. I don't anymore, but I did.
At the time, you could pull that one.
Yeah, oh, I pulled that on the kids a few times as well. Like the boys especially. Teenage boys have a thing about calves, and it's really funny because genetically I have good calves. I've never really trained them, but yeah, so I'll be like, when you've got bigger calves than me, then we can talk.
Shoot them down. Sit back down.
Yeah, honestly, I've had a few that are like, oh.
Okay, then, miss. Yeah, it's true. Get your calves out. Show them what's up.
Yeah. Oh, although to be honest, the first thing they always asked me was, "That's how much do you bench?" Oh, I don't.
Bench. Bikini girls don't have chest. Like,
honestly, like it's so funny. But yeah, so I really love the community and like the competition as well. Like the progress, like seeing the progress year to year is so addictive. Like I never, like back when I was like PTing first getting started, I never thought I could look the way I do now. I thought like, okay, this is just how I am. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, now I'm like, whoa, we can do shit.
Yeah, it's a whole freaking thing. It's awesome, mate. It's super inspiring and it's really, really cool to see. Yeah, yourself and others as well. It's cool to see other people progressing with you. And you're like,
amazing.
Wow. Yeah, we're all changing and it's really cool. Who are your inspirations in the sport? Like any Olympians or whatever that you follow? Obviously, we talked about Issa a little bit. She's probably your number one, right?
Issa's my number one. I love Issa. She's so beautiful. Like honestly, does in every way. She's just stunning. And her front shot is just everything. And I'm so stoked that she's finally made the move and she's getting the conditioning and the glutes sorted. It's like I've been saying it actually for the last like 3 years that she needed to probably change coach. Nothing bad on her previous coach or anything, but like sometimes the coach isn't a good fit. So I'm really excited to see what she can do. And then Jen Dory is another one. Obviously, yes, you've got your poster in the background.
Jen, yeah, she's my inspiration. Every day I look at her and I'm like, I ain't eating cake today.
Incredible. And then Ash K is another one as well. Like I will say her physique isn't my favorite, but I love her as a person. And I also love what she brings to the sport. Like even like representing us petite girls.
She is though.
Yeah, which is really cool for me as like, yeah, obviously a more petite competitor because it can be quite hard when you're seeing some of these girls like Amy Delgado, for example, and you're like, oh.
What? You machine. It's crazy. Do you think Issa will win Olympia again? She'll come back and get it?
I think she has the potential to. I think she just needs the right guidance. I think if she has the right guidance and makes the right decisions, she could be like a Sydney and just like have it forever because her structure is just incredible. But yeah, she just needs to make sure she's doing the right things and making the right decisions there. But yeah, definitely I think she can. But I do also love Jen Dory as our bikini champion. She's again incredible and I love her physique as well.
Yeah, and such just like a nice, wholesome girl, right? She just seems like that, right? From what you get.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the bikini girls are, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love
I love that. Like Jen's just so balanced. She is just so incredibly balanced. I just don't think anyone at the moment, nobody else has that. And it's obviously what they're kind of going for at the moment. Sometimes they kind of change, I guess, not the criteria, but their preferences towards the criteria, and I guess the weighing they put on certain factors. So it does depend on how much they weight certain things, but yeah, like at the moment with that balance, I wouldn't be surprised if she won it again this year.
Same. We'll see. It's always exciting. What about Arnold? Because obviously Jen's not there. I don't think Ash is there.
Yes.
Who do you think? Do you think Laurelise is going to take it out again? Obviously, she's a favorite for the Arnolds. What do you reckon?
Yes, I'm going to say I'm not actually a huge fan of Laura Lee's physique for bikini. She's beautiful and stunning, and I love her physique just in general, but I do think that for the criteria, it doesn't quite work. I don't know, I think also because she is taller, and unfortunately, like she's the same height as me, so I can't talk. But her torso is quite long, and so I think for me that kind of throws off her proportions a little bit. It makes her upper body almost look smaller, but then if she has her shoulders too big, I don't know, it's too much of a contrast. So yeah, I do think she's a little bit unfortunate structurally in that sense, but I mean, nobody can beat her glutes. We all know that. And her posing is just incredible.
She's amazing, right? It's crazy. And the way she puts on body fat, she's my favorite off-season physique because she puts on body fat so evenly throughout her body, and she's got like no bumps. Like, this is perfect. I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing.
I do think that a lot of that comes with building muscle though, because she's obviously quite dense, and I think the more muscle you build, the more even I guess it looks when you're distributing your body fat. Like I've definitely found that throughout my off seasons. I've looked better in off season every single time. But yeah, I don't even know who's going to take out the Arnold. Who else is there?
I think most of them are there except for Ash and Jen that I've seen, sort of thing. The wellness looks pretty low because I think it's like Fran and everyone from wellness is going to be there. So
I'd love Issa to win wellness.
Yeah, do you reckon?
To me, she is wellness. As much as I love Fran, Fran's incredible and her structure is insane. But I do think because wellness has gotten very, very big. So I really love Issa for wellness because she is a little bit on the smaller side. I just think that's kind of more what it was originally intended to be.
Yeah. I think we'll see the day.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting though. I would love Issa to take. Let's have the Issas just in general. We love Issas.
That'd be cool. Let's see it. I can't wait. It's always exciting. It keeps us motivated throughout the year, doesn't it? So like watch the girls.
100%.
Saves
100%.
Let's talk about reverse dieting real quick for a little bit. You've obviously done this a whole bunch of times. How do you find from my position in watching you look like you just slay it. You look like you do a really good job. Everyone else is like 15 kilos up. And I'm like, fuck, me too. And you're like, I'm just over here at the gym. So how do you find it? Do you find it easy? Do you have any tips for people that are like, oh my God, I find it really hard? Like, talk to me about it.
So I will say it's changed over the years each time I've done it. My first reverse, I was extremely strict. I was so strict on my reverse because I had heard all these stories of people blowing out, and I didn't want to do that because obviously it makes it so much harder to get back in, and it can have long-term effects on your body. So I was really strict on my first off season to make sure that I was putting myself in that good position. My second off season, I learned to become a little bit more relaxed. So I was still obviously following my plan and everything, but I would also kind of here and there take a bite kind of thing. This off season has been very different because I got so lean. I just wanted to put on weight. I mean, I looked really good on stage, like for conditioning wise. I possibly got a little bit too lean for nationals. I think my Waikato's conditioning would have been favored a little bit more, but because I got so lean, I looked scary, and I actually hated the way I looked off stage. So I've been very relaxed. So I mean, even so, like I've been very lucky with my metabolism. Like what am I, 5 kgs, I think, plus my stage. I think I'm 5 kgs up, but yeah, my metabolism went absolutely nuts during this prep. So I was a little bit the opposite, that I was like, no, I actually need to put on weight here.
Yeah. If people are like, I want to keep my shreds, and I'm like, yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah, like a lot of people are like, oh my God, I love being stage lean, like it's so cool. But I was like, I actually don't want to look in the mirror because I look scary. And I would walk around the gym and I could see the looks people were giving me. And it was like that, that one girl in the gym who probably has an eating disorder going on the Stairmaster, and that was kind of what I looked like. Because I was getting like the ab veins were crazy, or very vascular all through the arms. And because I am very lanky, I don't have a huge amount of muscle mass. It did look quite scary.
Oh man, I'm the same because I'm like quite lean too, obviously, but I didn't quite get as lean as you did. But I even thought, like, I just don't like it. I just don't like losing everything. Like, I don't like losing all the I'm like, why do girls want to be stage lean all the time? Don't you feel like a little bit like I don't know. I just like energy. I like curve. I like, maybe that's just my preference.
Yeah.
But
I mean, again, like same as you, I do love a good shred and it's fun to see the progress, but definitely once that's done, I want to get out.
yeah.
And I want to kind of like, I loved how I looked all through my off season, my last show, like even at my heaviest where I look back, I'm like, oh, I was getting a little bit chubby there. I'm like, I actually loved how I looked because I really loved the curve. Although I will say, my boobs were getting a little bit too big for what I would have liked. They get to the point they're annoying. That's one thing I love about being lean is that you can walk around with no bra. It's great.
Yeah, and they don't just move or anything. It's
Yes.
yeah. So this
Although I didn't fit any of my clothes.
Oh no. Oh man, it's weird with your body changing all the time, isn't it? It's something, it's just things you got to get used to, I think. Hey, you just got to like
100%. 100%. You've got to remember that like clothes are meant to fit you. You're not meant to fit the clothes.
Yeah, that's it. And you're supposed to change. People are supposed to change. So,
100%. If you're not changing, you're not growing.
yeah, nothing's happening. It's boring. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just, you want to be healthy as well. Like you don't want to, it's not healthy. I was saying to my students as well, because obviously like they could kind of see I was getting a bit lean. Although to be honest, they didn't really say too much about it, but I always said to them, I am not in a healthy stage right now. Please do not look at me like in that way of this is what you should look like. Please remember I'm not healthy. I should be at least 5 to 10 kgs heavier than I am right now.
Yeah. It's short term, guys. It's not
So I was quite open with my students about that because obviously the face gets very lean and like as a PE teacher I'm wearing shorts and t-shirts so they can kind of see it a little bit more. So I was like, I'm not healthy. Just please remember that. Eat your food.
Yeah, eat your food, everyone. Don't skip lunch for me, okay? Eat it for me. So for you, is a pro card your goal? Like, what's your goal with competing in bodybuilding? Do you have any sort of end goal?
I mean, I would love to get a pro card eventually, but I will say it's not like a urgent, like, oh my God, I'm like gunning for it kind of thing. I think at the moment I don't feel like I would be ready for it anyway. When I want to get like the pro card, like I want to feel like I'm absolutely ready for it. Like I could step on the pro stage and I know I need a lot more muscle for that. So at the moment, I'm just happy kind of competing, seeing where we go with it. Obviously the pro card and then going up the ranks is every girl's dream, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like it's just kind of where we're at, especially as like a natural competitor as well. It is getting harder every year for natural competitors with the standards.
I know, especially with that pro card side of things, like regionals, maybe like, because you've taken out regionals, you've done overall, like everyone's, you've been up there a few times, so it's just that next level, isn't it? And it's not to say that you can't do a natural. We just all need time, right? And that will fix everything.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their different issues. Like, for me though, the biggest thing is definitely size. Like, I can bring the conditioning. Like my posing's half decent. Like I've got I'll say I have a decent structure for bikini. For me the size is always going to be my issue. I do want to say you can get hella conditioned and hella lean without PEDs.
It can be done. Rachel's done it.
It can be done. So many girls jump on PEDs thinking, oh, that's what you need to get that lean. Look at my photos, fam.
Yeah. At least give it a freaking good go first, because it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Like, leanness is
100%.
That's probably the easier part. It's this gaining size, natural. I feel part of it.
And the amount of density they look for these days is huge. Yeah. And for us girls who don't have any assistance in that area, it takes a little bit more time, especially for people like me who are more petite and harder to gain muscle. Yeah, it's just an extra bit of work, isn't it? It's so hard, but it's okay. We're up for the challenge. We love a challenge. Yeah. So exactly. Like, I mean, like when you compete in IFBB, you're accepting you're against people with PEDs who, okay, cool.
World Olympians, untested federation. I mean, we're gonna expect it. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's like if people choose to use protein powder or not. That's kind of how I see it. You're choosing to use that. Cool. That go you.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do, whatever gets you there. Do you have a posing coach?
I do. So I do a lot of my own posing because I do tend to watch a lot of the Olympians and kind of try to learn their posing. I did a while ago. I did a video where I learned Maureen's new routine. So I just taught myself her routine for kicks. But I do get all my posing checked by Katia. So she was an Olympian, which is real cool. Like top 10 Olympian. It's like, whoa. Amazing. She actually beat Isa Pacini before.
What? Really?
Yeah. She was showing me photos a while ago. Like, sorry, Katia, if you're listening to this, I'm dubbing you it. But yeah, she showed me photos of her like hanging out backstage with like Angelica, Jen, Janet, like Issa, all them, and I'm like, wow.
Oh my God, that's mind
So I
blowing.
think a lot of people really forget about her because she doesn't post as much. Like she's not very into advertising, but like she's got so much experience. Like obviously being on the Olympia stage like multiple times. She was up there 3 times, I believe.
See,
It's just crazy. So yeah, I get her. I'll go in to see her and like be like, hey, outside eye, what am
yeah.
I doing?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's good. It's good to get a second opinion on how
Oh,
you're.
100%. I think everyone needs a second opinion. I don't care how good your posing is, you need a second opinion.
Even the Olympians have people check it over, of course, their coaches
Yeah,
do.
and the ones who don't should, because like you can actually see it when they don't, because that you're looking at yourself in the mirror. It's a different perspective to what the judges see or what somebody else sees, and you've got your own unconscious bias as well. So it's
True.
always good to get other opinions.
And did Troy always like check your posing? Because I heard like from his podcast, he always says he checks his clients' posing. Did he give you feedback on posing in like your videos?
Yeah, so there was a couple of times when he'd talk about like my foot position or something. What is it? My front leg that I stand on, like changing the position forward or back for that one, and then like rotating my shoulders a little bit more. So yeah, if he noticed in my check-ins that my posing was a bit off, he would mention it, or he'd say like, "Hey, can you talk to your posing coach about this?"
Yeah, nice. I love it.
It
Yeah.
was actually changing my posing backstage.
Oh, right before you're about to get on and like move your toe. Oh my God, that's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, during nationals, I just did this weird thing where I started flaring my elbows a lot, and I don't know why.
Oh my God.
I don't know what it was, but yeah, I had like these big chicken wing arms, and in my back shot, it just looked awful. I don't know why I was doing it.
Oh, that's so funny. I think I remember seeing you correct, like pull your arms down at one point, and that must be why.
Yeah.
Chicken arms.
Yeah, and then because my arms look so like lean and like they look so lanky, it doesn't look
Or
good.
just like pop them out, get them delts
Yeah, so I
up.
had to like the way I was trying to do it was I had to like I had to do like a lat spread to like make myself a bit bigger because if you're smaller you can do it.
Yeah.
But then also keep my elbows.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, that's weird. You're just like, I'll just try that. But you looked great. You did awesome, babe. But there's always little things to tweak, especially when we watch our photos and videos back. Hey, you'll always be like, oh, that
100%.
change or whatever. There's always little
Make
things.
it to the box.
Like, yeah, make it to the step one.
But honestly, that was the first thing Troy said to me when I got off stage. He's like, "What were you doing? You didn't even make it to the box."
Keep walking, girl. You're not in the lighting. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I just needed like one more step across and then one more step forward. But I was like behind the box and next to it. It was so bad.
Oh my God. You still did amazing. So it didn't hurt.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, no, I am quite strict on myself with posing. Like I will always be looking for how to improve things. Like I enjoy posing, so I quite like to just practice it and see
Fun. I
how
love
we
it.
can improve.
Yeah, always improving in all areas. What are your favorite like shoes to wear on stage and posing? Like, are they the same shoes that you normally wear? What
So
are they like?
yeah, I do at the moment. So I really like the what do I have? The flare, and I've got strapless ones. So I found that stage day it was so much easier having the strapless because you don't have to like sit down and do the buckles or anything. But even with the buckles, I actually never undid them when I had them. So I would just slide the back of the shoe off my foot.
Oh my God,
So
what?
I did stretch it out a little bit, but it didn't like, I mean, it doesn't make the shoe fall off or anything. So you can't see it, but I actually found that a lot of people, their straps would break a lot sooner than mine because they were bending the plastic. Whereas me slipping it off the back, I actually found that it protected it a little bit more. And also made it easier to put on and off.
Yeah.
I hate the buckles.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, it was so nice to just be able to kick the shoes off.
Yeah, and then just chuck your slippers on or whatever, and then just get back on the start. Like it's easy, right? But
100%.
a lot of people get scared about losing their back strap and oh my God, they're gonna slide, or what if your feet get sweaty and like but everyone is that I've spoke to has said that the strapless are like they've been better. Like, do you agree with that?
Yes. So I mean, I can see the like feet getting sweaty sliding off like argument, but you can kind of grip onto them with your toes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was on stage, like there was like actually I had more of a problem with my feet sliding too far into the shoe. So, I had more problems with that than the feet sliding out. So I was kind of having to push my foot back out the shoe a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've got very narrow feet.
Oh, and you get the little toes curling over the edge of the shoe.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
And TMI, but I have like long toes, so it just looks awful if that happens to me.
Linda, don't get my feet. Don't get the shoes.
But you know, I also found having the platform as well was just game changer.
Oh
It was
yeah.
absolute game changer. I used to have the gala, which have no platform. And I found that it made me look just a lot longer and narrower. And I wasn't able to get my knee out enough when I was posing. Whereas with the flare, because they have that little platform, I was able to get my knee a little bit higher on that back leg. So it just gave me a little bit more of that kind of hourglass shape.
Yeah, that makes sense. Give it a try.
Yeah, shoes are important.
Like it's platform like
The gala's also really hard to walk on.
it's not allowed to be too high, but the more
No, yeah, it can't be too high, but you can have a small platform. But yeah, so flares and poise are fine, I believe.
Yeah.
And then gala has always been the traditional shoe. But I find that galas are really hard to walk in because they're so much steeper.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I think I've got what have I got? Flare. I think I've just got flare. And they just
I think most girls have flare, and then because I know Rhiannon recommends the flare, I believe.
Yeah. And now she started recommending the other ones, the poise ones.
Poise?
Yeah. She's like either of those. It depends on how you like the toe as well is a little different, I think.
Yeah, I think the flare and the poise are very similar. I think just the platform is slightly bigger on one than the other, or like the heel maybe is slightly longer.
I can't remember either.
It's just like I think it's like a 1 inch difference on the heel.
Yeah. Just depends on what you like, hey. It's like it would be great if we could all try them on, but you have to buy them online. But those are the best ones, girls, if you're shopping. Let's play a little game of this or that.
Okay.
Let's go. All right, glute day or quad day?
Glutes. I actually don't train quads really.
Oh, you've got some quads, so that's there naturally.
Yeah, so I actually don't have a lot of quad like muscle, but the shape of it is very rounded, so it looks like I have a lot more quads than I do. So when I'm on stage, if I actually did train quads, like in my back shot, my quads would get very squared off.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I definitely prefer training glutes.
That makes sense. Shoulders or back day?
Shoulders all day.
Yeah, all bikini.
They're very small, but I love training them.
We're all like, we love it. Just shoulders every day. Sweet or savory post-show treats?
Well, this has changed. It used to be sweet, but these days I actually prefer savory.
Oh, and what is it that
I find? So similar to you, I used to be an absolute sugar addict. I used to literally keep bags of lollies in my car, and I would just eat them while I was in traffic. It was bad. So I find that I get very easily addicted to sugar. So if I have a little bit, I don't stop. So I find that just not having it at all is easier.
For sure. Yeah, 100%. So what do you go for your savories? Do you like go for a burger or like are you a bit different foods?
I do like a good burger, but I do really love my Asian food.
Yeah.
So I think, like ramen, love a good ramen. Or like yum cha, it's always a good go-to. I love my Asian food.
I love it. Everyone's all the sweets, but savory hits different. Sebum or Arnie?
Wait, see, I actually don't know who Arnie is.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but I'm old. I'm born in the 80s, so he's Arnie.
Oh no, I do know Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I just didn't know the nickname. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, physique-wise, I'll say Sebum.
Yeah.
But I'll say in terms of mentality and what he just has done for the sport, definitely Arnold.
You have to respect that, don't we? We have to. He paved the way.
But yeah, Sebum his posing is just beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch. Like I think the guys underestimate their posing a lot, but like just it is an art. Like, and he does so well at it. Like it's stunning. Like you just can't not watch it.
Plastic Physique is just something else. I love it.
Yeah, I love classic.
And he's perfect for the industry at this generation and this time, and like his role model, like
100%.
Perfect. He's amazing. We love you, Sebum. Maybe I'll get him on the pod one day. Imagine that.
Oh, imagine. That'd be amazing.
Amy, hi him. Blue or purple bikini?
Oh, so that's a hard one. I don't know. I'm thinking I will wear a blue this year. But I really did love my purple too.
I loved it.
So I do love a good purple. I think because it's also a little bit different. Like if you get the bright purple like the one I had, like not like too dark.
I love it.
But yeah, and then because blue can be like, I guess, considered the safe color, but I also think at the same time that people underestimate it.
Yeah, on the right person, it looks amazing.
Yes, and also even the right shade.
Yeah,
so I think
yeah,
people forget that there's more shades than just royal blue.
Dude, tell all the tournament of champs and fucking athletes from this year.
Oh my god, yes, red and blue were the colors this year. Yeah. Everyone was wearing red and blue.
A bad thing. I mean, it's great, but it's just nice when someone pops out in a purple or something like you did. It was like, oh, there's a nice new color there, and it just makes you pop a little bit more. I love it.
Oh, I love a good purple. That purple is my baby.
We'll go purple for this one, but next year it might be a different answer.
Could be. I just need to find the right shade.
Winter prep or summer prep? If you got to choose, obviously in New Zealand we have a certain season, but if
Definitely
you had
winter.
yes.
Definitely winter. I actually listened to one of your podcasts the other day that you were talking about this, and yeah, I don't understand why would you want to prep in summer?
Everyone says summer. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like it's also hot.
So hot. Posing, cardio.
Yeah.
Guys, you're
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, posing in a bikini is nicer when it's warm, but like I'd much rather do my cardio in winter.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not doing anything else in winter. In winter, I'm just like down and depressed anyway, so I might as well like just to fight some demons in my lifting sessions.
It's so true. Like, what else are you going to do all winter other than like grind away? And no one else is doing it, so you feel even more like, everyone's
And the
eating.
gym's quieter. Yeah, no one's there. Why would you want to prep in summer when everyone's at the gym? Because new year, new me, and everyone's on the Stairmaster burning their Christmas calories. Like, no.
Not fighting anyone. I'm not got a problem with that. Yeah, I'm with you, babe. Winter prep all day. Oh, I'm going to change this one. I had Gendori and Maureen, but I'm going to put Gendori and Issa.
Oh,
But I think I know who you'll choose.
that is a tough one. I'll say personally Issa, but I would say also that's very, very tough. And then as an overall, I think ambassador of the sport, I'd probably go Jen.
Okay.
Oh, why do I have an alarm going off?
Uh-oh.
As we talk about the hourly alarms.
Chatting about that earlier. Okay, it's cool. That's cool that you got kind of both for different reasons, which I love, because you got to have a personal favorite, and then there's a best for the sport. And Jen's really.
I think people in this sport, though, sorry, slight adjacent, but I do find that people get very, they find it very hard to disregard like their personal opinion versus what the sport wants as well.
Yeah.
Which, and that's why people, I think, take their like reverse so hard, because people are thinking, oh my goodness, like I personally think I'm fat, but no, you're not. You're growing for the sport, and you need to grow. Otherwise, like, so people like really struggle to take the person, like making it personal.
Yeah, 100%. It's true. And if you're competing year to year, you have to hurry up and follow the plan. Just follow the process. It's what bodybuilding is. It's not
or even like with people who are winning, people will be like, this is my favorite person to win. But it's like, well, I mean, yes, that's your preference, but the judges might have a different preference.
Exactly. Yeah, it's whatever the bikini criteria fits, right? But it's okay to have our faves. Chicken or steak?
I actually don't like steak.
Okay. I don't need it either. It gives me like
I just find because I find it gets stuck in my teeth. I really struggle to chew it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So and everyone's always told me like, oh, you just haven't had the right cooked steak, but it's like I've actually never found one I've liked.
And I'm just not gonna keep.
I don't mind like beef, but yeah, like a steak, I'm not a fan of. So that's an easy one, chicken.
Chicken all day. Chicken all day. I feel ya.
Curly
or straight on here? A stage on here. Curly or straight?
Again, this is a split one.
And you did both this year, I think, too.
I did, because I hate the maintenance of curly hair, but I think I suit it more.
Yeah, nice.
Because I wanted to try the straight. To be honest, I didn't straighten it properly. I was a bit lazy. All I did was brush it. My hair's very naturally straight anyway. Yeah, literally, I just brushed it and I was like, good enough.
It worked.
But yeah, no, I definitely think I look better with curly hair because my hair's very, very thin. When it's straight, I just like that is all my hair for us YouTubers. That's not just half of it, that's it.
It's there, so you're gonna volume it up, right? Like make it
yes, I put extensions in too, and it just blends a lot better when it's curly. Like you can sometimes see the difference in the length between the hair and the extensions a little bit, if it's straight. So yeah, unfortunately though, my hair doesn't like curling, so it's a bit of a battle.
You have to keep going. Hairspray.
There was one show I was literally curling my hair. I was the Nationals in Wellington. I was curling my hair every 5 minutes and it wasn't holding. My hair looked so bad, and I was literally just curling it and it would just fall out. And we were like, what's happening?
Straighten it then. It's so frustrating.
Oh, I couldn't at that point because I had hairspray in it.
Oh no.
It was horrible. At that point I was just like, nah, the hair's not happening.
This is what it is, guys. Take it or leave it. Morning or evening workout?
Evening. I would like to say morning, but I get really lightheaded in the morning if I work out.
Yeah. And you don't like to eat before, probably in the mornings too, eh? It's weird like
I'm
that.
actually used to eating in the mornings because with swimming I had to train myself to do it.
Oh yeah. And a lot of people
you can't really do a 2-hour training session at 5 a.m. without eating anything. So I had to just train myself to do it. But I do find I get very lightheaded because you haven't had water, you haven't had as much food as you could have. So I find evening workouts definitely feel better. It's nice to get it out of the way though.
Yeah, that's true. It is nice to get out of the way, but you want energy for it too, eh? So it's kind of like,
Midday. Let's go for a 10 a.m.
yeah, 10 a.m.'s good. Yeah. And then you go home.
breakfast, morning snack. We're good to go.
Ready. I love it. Nice, babe. Let's talk about bikinis. It's your thing. It's your
Yes.
jam. What got you into making suits? When did you make your first suit? And you were like, oh, this is kind of for me. When was that?
So I think it was 2020, after like my first show, I was just getting frustrated because I just couldn't find any bikinis I liked or that fit me properly. Either the style wasn't right, the color wasn't right, or it was sold as a set. And at the time, I was a little bit bigger on the chest than I was at the lower. These days, not so much. Thank you. Goodbye, body fat. The boobs are gone. But yeah, so I was really struggling to find anything I liked. And I really loved doing sewing in school, and I just had a sewing machine at home. And so I was like, I'm gonna try it, see what happens. Did some YouTubing. And yeah, I just kind of got better at it the more I practiced. And then when I found the right fabric, that was a game changer. That was like, oh my God, this is so much easier. And then I was like, hang on a second, like making a triangle bikini is basically the same as a posing suit. I should try and make a posing suit.
Oh, yeah.
So we tried that. And then I was like, this is exactly the same as a like stage suit. All I need to do is put crystals on it.
That's perfect.
And so yeah, gave that a try. And then I just put up a couple to like sell just to make back the money from all the money I was spending on buying crystals and fabrics and stuff, and the connectors as well. It's quite expensive. And then all of a sudden it just blew up. It was crazy. It was like I turned away quite a lot of people last year. I had quite a few people who were still asking me for suits last year, but I just couldn't do it because I didn't have time. But yeah, it's just nuts. Like this was not the plan.
Yeah, it just happened. Oh my God. So was it last year, the first year you kind of like sold suits and like, like
Yes.
really, oh wow, that's crazy. And it was went off. It was crazy how fast like
Yeah.
around. And
Like, I literally just put up a few trial ones to just see what happened. Like, or not even see what happened, to just make back a little bit of money that I'd spent. Like, because I've spent like probably, I'm going to estimate over 5K on materials and stuff for this. I definitely haven't earned back that much yet, but
it'll happen. It's coming. It's coming this season.
yeah. Hopefully, because yeah, like people don't realize how expensive it is to get all the materials, the connectors, the lining, the fabric. Like it is a lot of money. And also the time it takes to make the suit. Because like I remember when I first looked at suits and I was like, whoa, that's expensive. I thought they were really overpriced, but now I'm like, actually, no, it's actually kind of fair.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. How long does it take to make a posing suit and then like a competition suit? Is there like how long does it take to make each?
So competition suits and posing suits, I'd say like just to sew the base is pretty much the same. So I'm going to estimate 3 to 4 hours, but that does depend a little bit. Like I don't have some of the machines and stuff that make everything a lot faster. So a lot of the stuff I have to do by hand rather than being able to do it with the machine. And then doing the crystals, for those of you on YouTube who can see, actually, I'll show you. So something like this, where it's got that ombre full crystal. So for those of you not, it's pretty much every suit I wore this season or last season. 3 hours just to put the crystals on the top.
Oh, that's great.
So just for the top, and that's just putting the crystals on. So I'd say overall, yeah, it takes quite a long time.
A long time. Yeah. And that's
And again, like a lot of the bigger companies, they actually have heat press machines, so they don't do it by hand.
Oh, interesting.
So you'll see more and more companies doing it these days because it's just so much faster. They can there's a machine that like pops out all the crystal and the design that you want. You just input the design into the machine and it will pop it out for you, and you literally just place it on the fabric, and then it's like a toasted sandwich maker, and you just press it, done.
Wow. Would the crystals come off faster like using that kind of machine, do you think?
No, so actually the glue holds better with that method. But what I will say is I think the design looks better when it's hand done.
Yeah.
Because I have noticed that there's a couple of suit companies that do have that like heat press system, that because it's not always straight.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen photos that they've advertised, and if you look closely, the crystals don't align with the seam.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so and then sometimes there's like the scatter it doesn't look right because it's machine done. It's not like sometimes I'll be ripping off crystals and I will put them on in different places to make sure it blends nicely. So I do find the hand done ones, the design looks nicer. But as you said, like with the glue, with Hot Fix, the Hot Fix glue, like it's actually on the base of the crystal already. So it melts into the fabric, which does mean it will stick better. So there's kind of like pros and cons to both. But I mean, if a couple of crystals fall off, like I know me and pretty much every other suit company I've ever seen always puts in a few spare crystals, so all you need to do is glue them back on.
Yeah, that's it.
Like it's not, if your crystals fall off, it's not a big deal.
It's not the world.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's not like if one or two crystals fall off, it's not a big deal. You just chuck them back on.
Yeah.
It's easy. Just get a little bit of glue, dab it on, done.
Job done. Wait till the day before show day or something and just make sure it's all ready to roll. Like what you should do anyway, I suppose, girls out there. What do you think the most common mistakes are? You probably see this more than anyone else when people order their suits and like even I see it and I'm uneducated in this area, you know. But like, what do you think people do like, in New Zealand? Like,
Sorry.
that's right. I was like, what?
I think I accidentally hit snooze.
She's
no, so sorry, was that mistakes?
Yeah, so what do you think people suits? Mistakes with like when ordering a suit, selecting a suit, measuring a suit? Like, what do you think you see the most that people do wrong?
With the measurements, I think people probably overstress it because your measurements will change anyway. I don't care how much a company tells you it's custom fit to your measurements, it's not.
No.
There is no way each company is creating an entirely separate pattern for every single customer. Like I am doing a little bit of that for the client, Chris's clients for Team Bold's Physique because we do have a little bit of a deal going on. But it would take a lot of time to do that for every single person. They would have a standard sizing and they would just use your measurements to figure out which one you fit. Which also, again, as we know, will change anyway. So that's why I make my suits adjustable. So you can actually adjust them in and out by like maybe 2 inches. So it does mean that you can put it on a couple of weeks out from your show, or if you get leaner going into your show, you can make it smaller as well. But yeah, I definitely think people do, like, especially with the tops, don't order your own cup size.
Yeah, okay. What do you think? They go up?
Yeah, unless you already have very large breasts, I would say always go up. If you smaller boob girls, don't be afraid to get bigger cups. The only time I will say to get smaller cups is if you're just a very petite person. So I did have one client this year who actually did just need smaller cups because she was just so petite through the chest. If she had any bigger, she couldn't wear it because it was too big across her chest. But for everyone else, definitely like a C or a D is kind of the sizing that you would want to go to. Anything smaller than a C, it just looks too small. It throws off your proportions, especially if you have more developed shoulders. If you have more developed shoulders, do not get a small cup.
It just looks weird, right? It doesn't match.
Yeah, it makes your shoulders look bigger.
Yeah.
And it takes away some of that femininity, whereas if you size up a little bit, you can stuff it. Just stuff it to the nines.
And what do you use stuffing? Do you think just cups, or what do you have as something that you use?
I use both.
Okay.
So I had some like kind of the typical push-up cups that you just slide into your bra, and then I also have pillow stuffing, which I usually just kind of give away with all my suits anyway. Pillow stuffing is good because it molds to your shape, whereas the stiff stuffing, it doesn't as much. So I only use that if you actually need a lot of thickness.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But yeah, for a personal reference, I would have been lucky to be an A cup on stage. I still wore my D cup bikini.
Insane. I was the same. I had a D cup.
Yeah,
and she's like, fucking trust me. Like, just put it on and let's see how it looks. And it was fine.
Yes. And then, and actually the other thing is that I've had a lot of people coming to me thinking that they should get the soft cups, the slider cups, if they don't have a breast augmentation.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a breast augmentation, I think that's probably the only time you can get away with the slider cups because they don't hold their shape. So if you have an augmentation, your shape is already held. You don't need to worry about that. The augmentation will hold the shape for you. Whereas if you don't have one, it looks a lot better with a molded cup because, I mean, again, you're able to stuff it a lot more and it's not going to distort.
Yeah, I agree. You can tell, like you can just tell a little bit more, right? And it might be more comfortable, but it's less flattering for your physique.
Yeah, I've noticed that even a lot of the girls with breast augmentations will use the molded cup as well. I think it does depend a little bit on how big you go. But I would say probably 90% of bikini competitors should go a molded cup just because, like, again, it holds the shape better and it's not going to move around as much because of that.
True, that's another scary thing. If it's a slider, you're like, oh my god, is anything out? But yeah,
it just distorts a lot more, and you can sometimes see where the fabric's being pulled.
Yeah, I agree totally. It's like it looks cool on some people, but you have to pull it off. You know?
There's very few people who can pull it off. Like I believe like Jen Dory's done it a few times with the slider cup. I think even who's the other person who does it?
Oh, there's a couple of Olympians.
There's a couple and they look really good, but again, they have breast augmentations.
Yeah, they've got perfect boobs like this, and that's
Yes.
why they can just have them and stick them on if they have to, and it doesn't slide. And, oh,
Yeah, exactly. So, and because nothing's moving around with them either, so.
it just works for them, guys. Maybe try a couple on and talk to Rach and see what.
Oh, actually, that's one thing I'm going to be doing.
Oh,
Speaking of, so I'm making a whole load of like I guess display suits for that will literally just be there for people to try on. So if you come in, you can try that suit on and just see how it fits on you. So I'm making like the different sizes of cups I have available and a couple of different of the bottom styles. And I'm actually making it so that you can clip the connectors on and off, so you can try on different connectors as well.
so cool. It's a game changer. That's awesome, babe. Cool. Guys, this is where you want to be for finding your suits this year. What about like the back straps and stuff? Do you think people should go for like because I went the fabric option so that it could be changed if I needed it to, but what do you think is the best for like ordering the connectors? Do you think they're like the back strap should be fabric or connector, or is there any like preference on that works better?
My personal preference is the fabric. Again, because you can adjust it. I think a lot of people don't tighten the back up enough, and that's when they have problems with their top moving around. You need to actually tighten it almost as tight as it can go. Like if it's kind of squeezing your skin a little bit, that's probably good. Because otherwise it will start to move around a little bit. And that's when a lot of girls have the issues with the suit coming up a little bit as well. Because you do need to tie it tight at the top as well, because otherwise it can gape, especially if you've padded it. So if you have it tight at the top and you haven't tightened the back, it's going to lift. So if it's tight at the back, it's going to help prevent that a little bit. So I do personally prefer the fabric, and also I think having the rhinestone back can just distract a little bit, because really you want to be looking at the glutes, you want to be looking at the V taper. You're not really looking at your middle back.
This is true.
So for me personally, I'm like, why would you draw attention there?
Yeah, that's it. Unless your hair's covering it, but it's not always the case. Like it's just, sometimes you can
But then if your hair's covering it, what's the point anyway? It's more expensive.
Doesn't matter which one you get, it's more expensive. True. Like, come on, guys, think about it.
Yes, I mean, that's my personal preference. You can actually also get I've seen clear straps as well, like the clear bra straps. I can do that as well with the clear elastic. But I mean, again, you can kind of see it. I think that one's better for like figure and physique competitors.
Yeah, but you want to see all their back and like, totally makes sense. Yeah. What about the bottoms? Do you think everyone should be going for the new cut that we've got, and no, everyone should be leaving behind the ones that we used to have, the briefs that we used to have?
Oh, I will say yes, leave behind the briefs.
Please, because some girls just hadn't changed the bikinis yet this year. It was like the first year.
Yes, which I completely understand, because obviously it's very expensive to buy a new one. And I actually, Jamie PT on Instagram, I actually made her a new set of bottoms to just kind of change the cut a little bit for her, because she did have that cut. I mean, yeah, I know it's the recommendation that if you don't have as much glutes to go with a larger cut, but I find that it just looks like a diaper. Because with the crystals and the fabric, it just gets too thick and it's just not nice. At the moment, I only really have my standard pro cut. I am in the process of making a micro pro cut, which I will not recommend to most people unless you are going for the pro cut. Unless you are actually ready for your pro cut or you are a pro, I would say stay away from anything, the really tiny ones, because it's not going to work for you. And also it can actually square your glutes off a little bit. The one I've done, I've actually been really selective about making the rounded shape. So even though it might be a little bit wider than some pro cuts, it is very rounded to make sure that your glutes get that round 3D effect. And I am going to make a slightly more modest cut, I guess more of a Brazilian, for those who want just a little bit more coverage, because obviously some people, they are going to suit a little bit more coverage. Especially if you have less density and a little bit higher body fat, I would say just a little bit more coverage, but definitely not the cheeky, I think it's called.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm like, that's not cheeky at all. You can't see anything.
No, yeah, definitely not.
We finally joined the crowd, and we've got there. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're allowing that cut now. It's so much better. Okay. So much better.
Do you have any tips for like keeping your suit on stage, like stay where it is? Do you stick yours to, like, what do you do? Do you pull it up before you go in? Like, what do you do?
I actually don't stick mine down. I did it for my first show, and I found that the tape would just pull off my tan. So I don't do that anymore, because I find if your suit does move in any way, or if you need to go to the bathroom or something, maybe you need to take your suit off, it pulls your tan off with the tape. So I actually don't like to use that. I find that I just like to try to leave my suit alone as much as possible. The more you move it, the more it's going to take off your tan. But the biggest thing is making sure the suit sits up on top of the hip bones. If it's not on top of your hip bones, I saw it happen quite a lot last year where the suit was actually gaping both at the front and the back. And it looked like the suit was way too big. But the moment I told the girls to, like, there was, I think, 2 or 3 of them that had the same issue. And the moment I told them to pull up their connectors, boom, suit fit perfect.
Yeah.
It was, so yeah, that's the biggest thing, definitely. Your suit shouldn't be moving around on stage. If it's moving around, it does not fit you.
Right, guys, come on. You see a lot of girls where they're like, or if it is a little big, like it just flattens them at the bottom, right? Because it doesn't, like, the bottoms don't go up and around your hips, it just flattens you at the bottom of your abs.
Yes.
Like, it really makes you look square. So
yeah, I really like the it doesn't have to be a straight V cut or at least a scoop cut. I find that the people who have struggled with getting the connectors high enough on the hips are always the one who have the straight cut.
Yeah.
Straight cut, like, I don't think it's very flattering for anyone. To be honest. So I think either a V or a scoop is definitely going to be the way to go because it just pulls your waist in a little bit more. And it also does allow for the connectors to sit a little bit higher as well.
Yeah, that's where you want it. All the poses look much better up there, girls. You don't want it to be falling down.
Yeah, so just on top of the hip bones.
Right up there. Do you think thinner, so you have connectors on the bottoms and the tops, you can either like 2 row, 3 rows, like big ones or quite thin ones. Do you think there's a preference on just like what's better for most people in that sort of area if people are like really unsure?
I think the fashion at the moment is definitely the 1 row.
Yeah,
that's the trend. It's the 1 row square loop that's the trendy thing.
That's what's cool.
But I do think that some people will suit thicker straps more. I think for bikini, generally the 1 row, but the larger crystals. So there's different crystal sizes. Generally, so on a suit, most of the time it'll be either what we call SS20 or SS16. So it's like 4 to 5 millimeter. Sorry. With the connectors, I really like the SS30 or SS29. For those of you on YouTube, it looks like this. So it is a little bit bigger, but because it's still 1 row, it looks delicate. Yeah. So it can, for taller girls, it can give a little bit more coverage while still having that delicate look. 2 rows, if you're very lanky, can actually help just give you a bit more coverage to stop you looking so long. Yeah. And I also think, with the spacing as well, again, if the crystals are slightly spaced apart, it also gives that, what's the word, more, I guess the thicker, like the more coverage and also the delicate look at the same time. For all the ladies who have been inquiring with me for physique and figure bodybuilding, I've been recommending the 2 rows because I think that 1 row on someone with a lot of muscle mass, it will just look too small and just throw off the proportions. I think the spacing on the 2 rows, because with the delicacy, it gives that really nice balance of you're still feminine, but we're going to just balance things out a little bit.
I like it. That makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And it's just something for people to think about because everyone's like, I don't know. And it's like, well, maybe you could go from there and make your decisions on it like that. But
don't get the dangly ones.
Yes. Oh my God,
we moved on from that in 2018.
Oh, there was like Olympia everywhere. Like, I mean, Ash K used to be like, oh, don't, guys.
I mean, I used to love them when I first started looking at competing. I was like, damn, I want those dangly ones.
Yeah.
But these days, no, we don't do that. Stick with the simple ones. I actually did try a few slightly different ones this year. I had like the kind of almost twisted ones. So they're still simple, but just with a little bit of extra on them. And I think for that, it depends on the color. So my red one, I thought looked really good with that twisted bikini, to the twisted connector, because it just gave it that nice little bit of class. But yeah, definitely don't get too complicated on the connectors. If in doubt, just go simple 1 or 2 row if you're in doubt, and then you'll be safe.
Because it's all about your physique, right? You don't need your bikini to be too crazy. Like
yeah, the more crazy your bikini is, especially in IFBB, the more distracting it is.
Yeah, it's not favored as much, hey. What's the difference between bikini and wellness suits? Is there like a lot of difference, or is it pretty much the same thing?
So it does depend. I did have a wellness girl wear a suit that I had made for bikini because she could. Shout out to Bex, she's awesome. Which was really cool, actually, because I also had Lisa wear that same suit. So it's really cool to have the difference. So we've got a tall, lanky, I can say it because she's similar to me. She knows. Bikini competitor. And then a wellness girl who actually also took out figure. So wearing the exact same suit. So that was really cool to like be able to show, hey, actually, you can still fit the same suit kind of thing, even with that difference. All right, anyway, getting back. But yeah, so the main difference would be like the wellness definitely favors that deep V cut. And then sometimes wellness competitors will go for a fabric side rather than the connectors. But you can go either way. I have noticed most of the Olympians will do the connectors on the side. But if you are doing what Bex did and you're doing both figure and wellness, it could be a good idea to go for a figure suit and then make the back adjustable so that you can turn it into like a wellness suit.
Yeah, that would be quite cool because you could do that, right? It could definitely be done.
Yeah, I am planning on doing that this year, making it like able to kind of transform a little bit because Bex had a lot of issues with getting her suit changed out because she was trying to change out of her figure suit and she had like 10 seconds because they were back to back and there was only about 4 girls in each class.
They're like, come on, Bex.
So yeah, I want to try and get it so that you can change the figure back into like a bikini or wellness back. And then you've just got fabric sides and you're all good to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. And a lot of the girls that like wellness wear the connectors, I mean, like not the connectors, what do you call it? Like adjustable strap because they've got bigger legs and bigger glutes, right? It's actually a little harder to get the suits on, isn't it?
So yeah, you know that my suits, come undone with the hooks. So it makes it so much easier to get them on and off. Like you can kind of just like I personally like to have one leg done up and the other leg undone so I can shimmy it up one leg and then do up the other leg so it's not too tight around the waist. I've had a few girls talk to me about similar issues where they couldn't fit it up their legs, but then it's too big on their waist. So being able to take the suit in and out and just undo it completely kind of solves that issue, as well as my favorite thing about it was doing posing. I would go for my posing session, I'd chuck my track pants on, and then I would be able to just literally pull my suit out from underneath the pants. I didn't actually have to do anything.
Yes, it's the best. Like, don't stress yourselves out like I did, and I came to you. I'm one of your examples, but I stressed out about not getting my suit on and off, and I'm like, why do we not just have like a hook and then I hired your suit and it had, oh my god, it was a game changer. Don't stress yourself out with trying to get a diaper on. Like freaking like have the connectors, get a proper suit that's got a hook that you can put on. It'll save your life, I promise you. Because like peeing,
it makes it so much easier.
Right? I mean, just going for a pee is hard. So don't want to get your pants off and like. Oh, yeah, it's a game changer. All of you girls need to just take note there. But yeah, that's kind of my questions for you, babe. Was there anything else I've missed? Any other? Right, actually, let's talk really quickly. What are you doing with Chris Bold Physiques? I know that you're working with your bikinis with that team, and everyone knows Chris Bold. He's now obviously coaching. If you haven't known, get out from the rock you're under. But what are you doing with the team? Like, what are you doing with them in the bikinis?
So basically, I'm his recommended suit maker at this point, which is so cool for me. When I got that call, I was like, holy heck. So that's super exciting to me because obviously being recommended by the ex-head judge is a big deal. So that's really cool for me. And basically, if you sign on with Chris, you get an extra in-person fitting for free included in your coaching. So you can come into me and I will I'll get you to try on those trail suits I've got and I will actually change the cut for you if needed. I will literally draw out a new pattern on you as we're doing it. And because for some people, if you're like everyone has different shaped glutes. Even in off season, like I can still kind of see where you're holding body fat, so I can see your shape still. So it doesn't really matter too much there, but it's getting that shape right for some people. It can be quite difficult. So I would literally change everything up in person. I would draw out the new pattern for you while you're here so that you have a personalized suit bottom. And then I would get that approved by Chris as well. Oh,
that's so awesome. What a cool service to have. Like it's never been done.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's definitely, it's a lot. I couldn't offer it to everyone anyway, probably. But yeah, it is quite exciting to be able to do that. And also even just to get that checked off with Chris. Like, again, I'm in awe of the fact that he is like recommending my suits.
It's so cool. It's such what an honor to be a part of it. And then it's just you've earned it though. I feel like you've got your space in this industry, and I think you're just doing the right thing. So obviously it's recognized. But what are you doing this year? And are you renting suits out this year? Are you going to take on a certain amount of suits you're going to sell? Like, tell us what you're thinking about doing so the girls can get in if they want to.
Yes, I do have a pre-order form that I have put up on my Instagram. So, I mean, at the moment, I'll admit my systems are not as nice as they could be. I apologize in advance. I am working on it. But I did want to get that up because I am going to be very strict on the amount of suits I take on this year because with time, obviously, if something goes wrong, I need to be able to fix it. I'm not going to send you a suit that I'm not happy with. I'm an absolute perfectionist, and that's actually one of the reasons I took so long to even begin selling them was because I wasn't completely happy with them. Most people probably couldn't see some of the flaws I see, But like even like one skipped stitch on a posing suit, if it's on the top on the front, I'm like, nah, it's not good enough.
It's not happening. No.
Yeah, so I will be I do have that. If you want a custom suit, you can go through that. Have a consult call with me. We'll go through some of the crystal colors and options and fabric options, kind of some of your style choicings. With that consult call, there's no pressure to actually buy a suit. It's just kind of investigating a little bit. And then, yes, I will be doing my rentals. I'm going to put up a bit of content and posting around that soon. I have actually got one of my suits already rented out. It's so popular. It's the one that Lisa and Bex wore. It's so popular. I actually think I have to make another one because I've actually had another 3 or so people even ask about that suit.
You need a second one, I think.
I do because it's so popular. So yeah, I will be doing the rentals. The cost of the rental will depend a little bit on the quality of the suit. That particular one I've done for 180 to give people a little bit of a reference. So it would probably be between, that 180 range to 250. If it's a brand new suit, I will be charging a little bit more for the first wear because obviously it's brand new. It's never been worn before. And then once it's been worn, then I will bring the price down a little bit because obviously wear and tear. But I will be going through checking the crystals, checking everything's all good before I send it. So I'll be posting that information soon. I've just been writing up a PDF of all the like T's and C's and stuff for rentals. And then, I might do a couple. If I have a couple of quick ships I'm around, I might have a couple, but definitely I am going to be strict on my timing because I am studying this year for the first half of the year. And also I want to compete, make my own suits. So, it's going to be hectic, but it's going to be good. So if you want a suit, please flick me a message. And if you have any inspiration, like send it to me. And that actually gives me a really good idea of what you're looking for in terms of the shades, the fabrics, because I can look at a suit and I actually know what color it is and what color crystals are on it.
Perfect. I love it. And I can totally vouch for you guys. She's a fucking perfectionist, like crazy. Like she won't let you leave the house until that thing is like perfect.
Oh yes, I did that
to you. She was like putting my sequels. I was like, okay, I gotta go. Like just still singing. It was great. Like she's just the right person you want when you're going to get your suit because you care more than I care. Like it's just you just won't have it up there. It's perfect.
I care more about anyone else wearing my suit than I care about wearing my own. Like when I see other people wearing my suits, I'm like, oh my god, yes. I see myself and I'm like, it's okay.
And your name's on it, like your name's on an athlete on the stage, and like you've seen yourself, like you are yourself on the stage, right? But other people in your
other people, it's just a whole nother level. So I'm actually probably going to go to most of the shows this year. Anything in the North Island, I'll probably go to, maybe except for Wellington. So because I'm an absolute stage mum, so even I don't care if you've actually bought my suit or not. If you need help with getting your suit together, I'm going to have a kit with me. Come see me. I will make sure. I can't stand it when people go on stage and their suit's not fitting right because it's just such a little thing, but it makes a huge difference. So
she's amazing.
Mate, just
just find her on Instagram, right? What is your Instagram name?
So I've got 2 pages. So my bikini page is Rachie's Bikinis. If anyone has a good name for my business, let me know because
send her a DM, guys. Inspo.
I'm waiting. I've managed to get myself a logo. I held that off, but I still need a proper name. I do want to do a rebrand with a proper name, but and then I've got Rachie X Fit Life as just my kind of main fitness page.
So flick her a DM, guys, if you're keen to get your suit sorted. And the earlier the better, because it doesn't matter. You don't need to be in your right size yet. You just need to get yourself ready to go.
Even because I can make the top very early too, because obviously that stays the same. So if I can make the top earlier, the bottoms do not take anywhere near as long to make. It takes about half the time. So if I can even make the top for you, you're sorted. And then later on, we can sort the bottom close to your show.
Yeah. All you need to know is like what color you want, right? And then you can go from there.
Yeah. Exactly.
What are you doing this year? What are you compare? Have you picked your shows yet? What's your plan for competing?
I do have an idea. It's very ambitious, so I probably won't do all of the ones I kind of am looking at. Definitely doing the Rotorua one or Rotorua, sorry, I should say. I've got a bad habit. It's my hometown, so for me that's a little bit of a special one because I've actually been on that stage a few times before growing up. I used to do dance. I was terrible at it, but still. So that's actually a real special one for me because I've been on that stage multiple times growing up and it's very close to where I grew up. Like my bus stop was literally opposite the stadium.
No way. What's the venue like? Is it cool?
From memory it's pretty good. It's been probably 10 years since I've been in there, but Yeah, no, so they've got a big auditorium seating. It's literally where they do all like the dance shows and stuff. If there's any shows in town, that's where they do it. It's not like it'll be a big stage. I was a bit smaller when I was on it last time, but from memory, it's pretty big because yeah, they have a lot of dance shows and stuff. They're all like theatre musicals. So it is quite a big stage, and the government gardens is right behind it, which it would be really cool as well. So yeah, definitely Rotorua, probably naturals and nationals. I am tossing up. I'm probably going to jump into an ICN show. We'll just see how that goes. That's kind of on hand there, and then we'll see if it might go for Mo's again because it's only a week after nationals. I'd love to do an international show, but again, we've just got to see how we go. And I am very broke from spending all my money on crystals.
Fair enough. And your trip.
Yes, yeah, actually, I spent too much money in Japan.
But that's okay. You've got a little game plan, and then whatever happens from there, you can make it happen. It's a long time away, still sort of. Well, it's not that long, but it's like long enough to really get yourself.
I think it is definitely important for people to realize that sometimes things don't happen. So it's like have a plan there, but it doesn't have to be yes, this has to be the way it goes.
Don't you hang your happiness on this show, like because there's always another show, and like
I mean, I'll admit I'll be super gutted if I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to do Tournament of Champs because I've heard it's such an amazing show, but the timing never works.
Come watch it with me. We'll watch it together, maybe.
Surely, definitely. We'll do a road trip.
Yeah, road trip. It's fun. It's such a good show. We can watch that one. See your suits on the stage. Who knows?
Hopefully.
I'm sure that will be all up there. And what if you're going to do an international show? Which one would you do? Like Aussie, or would you go further?
It would either be Aussie or Japan. Otherwise, I did consider last year doing a Hong Kong show because my partner's family is there. So we go there every year anyway, and there was a show on kind of around the time we were going, but I just didn't want to prep for an extra 8 weeks.
Fair, that's a long time too. But the Asian shows are sick though, huh? Like,
yeah, and also just me and my partner love Japan, so any excuse to go back.
I would love that. It'd be so cool. And the pro shows over there also. It'd be amazing. But who knows? The sky's the limit, right? Who knows where we'll end up?
We'll see how we go. And like, if I feel like I'm not going to do well or like do okay, at least on an international stage, I won't bother. Like that's kind of where I was at this year. I was like, well, my size is nowhere near what it needs to be for an international show, so I'm not going to do it. So we'll just see kind of what happens.
Yeah, it's a lot of money and time and effort for maybe, or maybe I'll do it right. You want to be like, I'm going to go to fuck some shit up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, Japan would be the dream because I just love Japan. It's amazing there. It'll be easier to do prep there too. So easy.
Yeah, it'll be, everyone loves it over there. Prep, like peak week, everything. It's just been like.
Also, because it's so easy, you can literally just buy plain rice from all those 7-Elevens, Family Marts. Like there's Family Marts and stuff every 5 meters down the street, so you can just buy plain rice, plain chicken, and you're sorted. And you can actually get it heated up for you there too.
Oh, we need that in New Zealand. We're way behind.
Oh, honestly, it's so convenient there. So convenient. Here it's like so much harder.
Here, hey, it's all just what we're going to do. Got to do it one day. But yeah, it was great to chat to you today, babe. We got a lot out of you, didn't we?
Yes, I feel sorry if I ranted.
No, we love it. That's what we wanted. It's so good to chat, and it was so good, really, really fun to compete with you this last year, and again this year. It's going to be cool to see what you do and where you end up.
You as well. Second season under the belt.
Little baby in the big pool, but it's what we love, climbing the way up.
It's about those progressions.
That's it. All right, if you guys want to get in touch with Rach, just flick her a DM and get in touch about your bikinis. The sooner the better for everyone, for you and for the athletes. It just works out a lot better that way. And even if you're unsure on colours, maybe ask Rach. She'll be able to give you a bit of an idea.
Yeah, I'm happy to give colour advice as well.
Yeah, it's like hair color, the skin tone, everything, it comes into it. So reach out if you want to get in touch about a suit, and I highly recommend, because if you saw my Mo's Muscle suit, it was beautiful, and that's one of her rentals. So jump on and have a look on your bikini page. A few of them up there as well, and you can see the colors and how they fit. And it was great to have you on the pod, babe. I'm sure I'll see you soon. It was really, really good to chat.
100%, it was amazing. Thank you for having me on.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to give me a review if you're on Spotify. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, everyone. Bye.